Hello everyone, this is John Blackstone again. If you've looked at my channel for any length of time, you're aware that I recorded with Dee Murray and Nigel Olsson from the legendary Elton John Band. And I've told the story of how I met Dee and how that transpired. I've also released another video of the session when Nigel came in and played on my song, Waiting to Hit Bottom. But one thing I've realized recently is that it appears that I'm the only person that has footage of Nigel Olsson in the recording studio, which is pretty cool. So I've decided to release the unedited, complete video of that day. And what I'm going to do is watch it with you and kind of describe what happened that day and what it was like. I literally had posters of these guys on my wall when I was growing up. So this was a very big day for me and my friend Neil Capolino, who was in my band as my keyboard player, but was also the gentleman who owned the recording studio where we were recording my album, and he's the recording engineer. And he has gone on to become a 5-time Grammy Award winner for his work with Alison Krauss as a recording engineer. Neil is a dear friend, and I'm just going to kind of go back and watch through this video with you and remember what an amazing time that was. That's Neil there. He's my friend, and he's the recording engineer and studio owner. And this is right after Nigel Olsson's tech crew had come up and set up Nigel's drum kit. So Nigel was not there at this point. And after they left, oh, this is so funny. Neil and I were just totally geeking out because we were looking at this drum set that had been played on all those legendary albums, which we actually didn't know that at this point. Right now, Neil is looking through. This is one of Nigel's sponsorships.
Nigel Olsson, Elton John.
Following is a partial list of super drummers who have made the Canasonic comparison and switched alphabetically.
Yeah, so anyway, we're just kind of looking at this stuff. And then here is Nigel's travel case where he keeps all his gear. And we see these tambourines in one section. And we're just looking around at all this stuff. This is before Nigel showed up. And, okay, so obviously I'm just trying to film some of this. And I'm looking at these drums.
Yeah, this is a snare drum.
I'm hitting the snare to check out how loud or what it sounds like. But look at these drums. If you know anything about drum kits, drum sets, you know that those rims are very tall.
Look, dinky little kick drum. Look how deep these rims are in this thing.
So some of them had these really deep rims, like I'm pointing at right there. We're just looking at this kit, just completely geeking out. And then, of course, there's the famous drum head. So we're looking forward to Nigel showing up. Okay, here's Neil, being a total dork, dancing around, using Nigel's tambourines. Oh, yeah, and then this little thing. Yeah, Neil just totally geeking out. We're sitting here with Nigel Olsson's legendary drum kit that he played on all of these amazing albums. And again, I didn't know that at this point. I didn't know that this was the drum kit. However, I recognized the drum kit from photographs I had seen. Okay, those are all of Nigel's snare drums, and they're all, depending on what he wants to use for whatever setting he's in. Now here's Nigel. So he shows up, and I had set up the camera. I just kind of pointed it at Nigel. Just wanted to film as much of him as I could. Neil is setting up microphones, and so Nigel's just talking to Neil.
Is this this the kind of kit you used on a lot of that stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the one.
This is the
Oh my gosh.
Blackstone.
He called it the Blaster. What he's doing here is he's tuning the toms of his drum kit and the snare and the floor tom. He's basically tightening things up and getting each drum to the pitch and the tone, the sound that he likes. So anyway, Nigel shows up. And he sits down at his drum kit and he's tuning it up. He's getting the drum kit positioned the way he wanted it. And I'm just sitting out there. I actually bummed a cigarette off him. He was smoking in those days. And I think I said, can I bum a fag? Because that's what they call it in England, a fag. And I said, hey, what do you think of the George Michael version of Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me? And he said, well, they certainly copied us exactly, didn't they? And I said, yeah, man, that drummer, he just like copied that amazing drum fill that you did on Elton's version. That drummer just copied it exactly. He was miffed about that. He didn't say anything, but he was like, yeah, they pretty much copied it note for note, didn't they? You know, that version that George Michael released is basically a note-for-note copy. That was one of the first things I noticed, was how the drummer just copied every single thing that Nigel did. And yet, Nigel wasn't getting credit for what he had done on that record. And Nigel didn't seem too happy about that. So here I am goofing around with the camera again. I had set up the camera in the control room. One of the coolest things about having Nigel come in was Neil and I were able to ask Nigel how Gus Dudgeon and him got those incredible drum sounds. And Nigel told us that the recording engineers would place microphones in the corners of the room. They used to record in large spaces to pick up the ambience, the sound in the room of Nigel's drum kit. So we did that. Neil put up microphones in every corner of the studio, and that is part of the final sound that you will hear on the final mixed version of this song. Right now, Nigel is just playing so that Neil can dial in the sounds on his drum kit.
Why don't you record some of it and let him come in and hear what it sounds like?
Yeah, I'm not quite to that point yet. Okay, I haven't really dialed in the room mics at all yet. Pardon me?
Let me change this thing on the front of the drum head.
Okay.
You stick a little bit more decay, I guess.
Alright. He likes it big.
Yeah.
Nigel Olsson is asking Neil to turn up the reverb in his headphones. And he wants to hear that reverb in his headphones because it's part of inspiring the performance.
Close it a little bit.
Okay.
I assume.
I'm rolling.
The very first time that Nigel played this through, he began with a drum fill at the very top of the song. We didn't expect that. We just thought he would just come in, after the guitars opened up the song. And he started with a drum fill. And we were looking at each other like, oh, that's so cool. We never would have thought of that, but he did. I must say, before you start listening to this, the vocal that you're hearing was just a scratch vocal just for the other musicians to follow. I think I was actually laying on the floor when I recorded it.
pray that God protects you while you're waiting to hit bottom. I pray that God protects you while you're waiting to hit bottom. I pray that God protects you while you're waiting to hit bottom.
How long? Do I know how long? Oh, I don't know. I'll keep playing.
Is that the end?
Ish. I think another 20 seconds or so. Yeah, it just keeps going like a Duracell, I guess.
Nigel played through the song once just to get a feel for it, and we recorded that pass, but he asked to take another stab at it. And so this is the version that ultimately ended up on my record.
How did that feel?
Say again?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
How did you feel about that?
It sounds great. Sounds fantastic.
Okay.
Do you want to keep some of that, or how do you feel?
The beginning was pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's do one more. We'll get it this time.
Okay.
This is for real, right?
This is for real.
So you want me to record this time?
Yeah. That's the bastard.
When you're ready.
I'm ready.
Oh, I hate those vocals. Pull the vocals down a little bit.
I'm catch your fall. Return my why wait around for something with nothing? You just keep on denying that you're a sick and dying. I pray that God protects you while you're waiting to get bottom. I pray that God protects you while you're waiting to get bottom. I pray that God protects you while you're waiting to get bottom.
Okay. That was cool. Very cool.
Sounds great. You want to come in and listen?
So after a couple of passes, Nigel is happy with his performance, and of course I am thrilled. Now Nigel comes in to listen in the control room.
Sounds great, Nigel.
Goddamn.
It's incredible how just to hear that, just to hear your style applied. It's just incredible.
And I'll tell you something that was really interesting. When Nigel came into the control room to listen, he said that he could tell that the song was coming to an end, because whenever a song was coming to an end, Dee Murray would always throw in this little bit of a reggae feel, these little reggae bass licks. And he said that Nigel did that all through the time that they were recording together. It was like this little thing that Dee Murray would do. That's my dear friend Alan Clark walking in right there. He had come to take the photos that you've seen in this video, and he's a renowned photographer now. You'll see his work all over the place, including some beautiful promotional photos of Elton performing live at Madison Square Garden in 2001. I went along with Alan to assist him, and that was an incredible experience. I spent 2 days at Madison Square Garden and watched Elton and his whole crew and musicians for 2 days. It was amazing. I saw so many famous people backstage: Liza Minnelli, Donald and Ivanka Trump, Bernie Taupin. So you got to check out that video. You'll really love it. It is full of very cool stories. This session was officially the last time Dee Murray and Nigel Olsson appeared on a recording together. I'm pretty proud of that and very thankful that I had that incredible experience. If you'd like to download this song, it is available on my website. I will include a link in the description. And that's it, folks. That's the wonderful, amazing experience I had when Nigel Olsson came in to play on my song, Waiting to Hit Bottom. Thanks for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed it.